Essentially, the Allatra movement believes that the Soviet Union, or present-day Russia, defends the world from the sinister forces of 12 corrupt archons who are governed by the devil. They also believe in an ever-present hidden Antichrist and the secret society of the Illuminati, which controls the world through market mechanisms or the evil West and capitalism. Of course, they see Russia as the only entity that can resist these forces, but it has been undermined for a while. That was during the terrible 90s when his perspective was evolving. However, be careful, Danilov was born, which is significant. He actually didn't live in Russia, but in the Donbas region or Ukraine, specifically in the disputed areas that were inherently pro-Russian. This is where his political involvement and worldview stemmed from in a similar way, as Putin was not exactly antagonistic towards the West at first. But then a change occurred. We can trace the same to the Allatra movement, which automatically adopts this perspective. At first, you might not completely comprehend their declarations, but then you learn about this Nomo, a great messiah and a distinctive pro-Russian leader with striking resemblances to Vladimir Putin. If you ask Allatra members if Nomo is Putin, they wouldn't give you a clear answer. They don't want to show off about it, but it becomes quite evident once you spend some time with them, and they admit to believing in it. Why wouldn't they, when he shows features that they believe require them to defend against the corrupt Western world? I see this as a problematic aspect. On the Allatra website, there are various links to business affairs and so on. There, you can find businessmen linked to the movement who recruit young Ukrainians in Donbas to fight for the Russians in the war. This embodies the overall stance of Allatra, which blatantly supports Russia in the Russia-Ukraine war. Ukraine is just filled with Nazis, and the corrupt West is maliciously exacerbating the situation. That's the conspiracy theory many people who gather at Wenceslas Square believe in. It's a problem that they've also somewhat degenerated to this esoteric level. The rise of COVIDism and the absurd rules have pushed many people to start believing that there's a secret group out to destroy them. The pandemic was a major world event that was only worsened by the terrible actions of the politicians. It was hard to ignore the influence of pharmaceutical companies. Allatra exploits this, and it brings us to the third part. They start softly, focusing on their most hazardous features. The softest area is their conviction that they are healers, and the members of the movement come to stop trusting traditional medicine doctors. This is not to say that medicine is immaculate or that we shouldn't be skeptical of how our pharmaceuticals work, but it's about rejecting the principle, replacing it with different methods. For instance, they distributed pamphlets and persuaded women not to undergo mammogram examinations, as it's seen as wrong and potentially cancer-inducing Western medicine. Instead, Danilov and other healers supposedly see with X-ray vision and will guide you on what to do. They will tell you that you're already healthy and you believe them, and then of course you die from negligence. I've encountered something quite similar in Scientology now that I'm studying it for a video. This dangerous rejection is almost like Jehovah's Witnesses, especially with transfusions. They don't have it explicitly stated that you shouldn't have transfusions, but it stems from the erosion of faith in healthcare and trust in alternative methods. These alternative methods often result in madness. Another thing, the direct connection with people who fight in Donbas seems very cult-like and dangerous to me, primarily because statements from people who transferred their property to Allatra exist. It seems when you become an integral part of them, you're encouraged to make this sacrifice.